Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna take a look at this CM 16 Rider 2.0 created by the G&G company. So in the package itself you will find the gun in its stock version, which looks something like this. Now I have it kind of modified. I got a scope and a suppressor on that, but it looks pretty decent even without that. And then you're gonna actually find a magazine, which is made out of full metal for 450 BBs. So the body of the gun is made out of full polymer, which is also a plus. The full metal replicas are good for the more realistic grip of the gun, but this gun also feels really realistic, but it also has the advantage of lightweight, so you can maneuver with it a lot better, and you can also, play for longer hours without being tired. Also, this gun has fully adjustable plastic stock, so you can basically adjust it as you want. So at the side and the bottom of the barrel you actually got the M-lock, and at the top you got the Picatinny rail or the wrist rail, allowing some various montages such as this red dot, green dot, Theata Optics collimator, as I use in all of my videos. So this gun is EAG, which means we need to power it out of an accumulator. So the maximum voltage is basically 9.6 NIMH or 7.4 LiPo. I use 8.4 volts NIMH nunchuck accumulator, but I just use it only because I got an NIMH charger and I don't really want to upgrade for LiPo yet. But LiPo is really fine also if you want. You just need to be more careful on the charging of the LiPo batteries and storing them, and also you want to maintain your gun a lot more with the LiPo. So the room for the battery itself is actually located here in the stock, and now I'm gonna show you on the screen how to actually put it in. So now let's actually talk about the accessories on this gun, starting with the collimator. So I got this Theata Optics red dot, green dot tubular collimator, which cost me around 40 bucks, and I can't really recommend it more. This collimator is actually really great at some close or mid-range shootouts. It definitely helps you to improve your accuracy on some closer range or mid-ranges. If you now see, I have it turned off, but if I would have it turned on, you would actually see the red or green dot, which you can just adjust, and also you can adjust the size of the dot. Also, this collimator is made out of solid material, so you don't actually need to really worry about its fortitude. The second accessory you should definitely not miss out on is the vertical grip. I don't have the vertical grip bolt for the M-locks, but I have one or two for the wrist Picatinny rails, which now I'm just gonna show you on the screen. And it is definitely a game changer because it gives you a better hold and better grip of your gun, so you can maneuver with it a lot better, and also you can blank fire with it a lot better. So now let's actually talk about more fancy accessories, such as laser box or flashlight and tracer suppressor. So now I don't have the tracer suppressor, I got only a regular cosmetic suppressor, which is full metal, and it is 14mm left spinning Navy Seals suppressor. But the tracer one might be actually a lot better, because then you can see exactly where you are shooting. Now let's talk about the flashlights and the lasers. So, flashlights and the lasers are extremely efficient in CQBs and in some close areas, but if you play at some forest or some field areas, then I would definitely recommend you to just buy only a flashlight, and really strong one, so you can flash your opponents from the far away. I honestly think that the laser is kind of useless at some longer ranges or some open areas, since you can't really see it. I saw some people actually installing the lasers and the flashlights on the top rails, but I wouldn't really recommend it to you if you actually use the collimator. Because then, if you actually look through the collimator, you might actually find yourself that you don't actually see because of the laser box. So it might be actually better to maybe buy some M-lock versions. For all of the accessories that I actually have on the gun now, I'm gonna give you a link in the description, so if you are interested in buying them, go definitely check it out. Now let's talk about the inner components of the gun. So, the gun uses V2 gearbox alongside with 270mm inner barrel, which is kinda good. The hop-up is adjustable, made out of plastic, but it is pretty decent for a stock gun. Gun also uses 8mm metal bearings alongside with 18:1 steel gears, which is definitely a plus. Only the piston is nylon with one metal tooth, which I would definitely upgrade later, but it is still pretty decent, I think, for a stock gun. Also, one good thing worth mentioning is the magazines. So, as I said, you're gonna get one full metal high capacity for 450 BBs, but I would definitely think about buying at least 3 or 4 push feeding ones. One of the worst things about these high capacity magazines are basically that they are really noisy, and also I mean you need to scroll the wheel down to just load up the BBs, which definitely can be a lot annoying in a combat. Also, the power of the gun is 1.7 joules with a range of 59 meters, but the range is maximum, okay, so usually it is around 40 to 50 meters. Also, the muzzle velocity is 130 meters per second or 427 feet per second. So with this being said, let's actually take a look at how it shoots in action. So my final rating of this gun is actually 9 out of 10. I mean, the inner components are extremely good for a stock version of the gun, but if you still want to upgrade some of them, I would encourage you to upgrade the piston, the hop-up, and also the inner barrel. I mean, the gun weighs around 2.5 kilos, so it is definitely a great thing for some longer games, as I said, and you aren't gonna really get tired. Also, it holds pretty well, and the polymer is really solidly made. I mean, also a plus is this telescopic stock, which is definitely a great thing for some places where you don't have enough space. Also, the Picatinny and the M-Lock rails are really good for attachment for a lot of accessories, unlike at the various AK platforms where the accessories modification is basically a real problem. I would definitely recommend this gun to some beginner players, because it is definitely easy to start learning the basics of airsoft with this gun. So now, if you are interested in buying this gun, I basically made 3 budget options for you. Starting with the low budget option, which basically contains the gun itself, alongside with the high capacity full metal magazine, with the charger, with the accumulator, and also with the BBs. Then we got the mid-tier option, which basically contains the same things, but I would also add up Theata optics, red dot, green dot collimator, alongside with maybe a tracer suppressor even, and vertical grip. Now let's go to the high budget option, which basically contains the same things as the 2 previous ones, but I would also add up 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 push feeding magazines, alongside with laser or flashlight for actually flashing the enemies in some maybe CQB areas, and also improving or upgrading the inner components of the gun.